started with questionnaires, and we have 3 types of questionnaires. The first one is personally administered questionnaires, and the mail questionnaire, and the electronic questionnaires. We started with the advantage of personally administered questionnaires. We said can establish report and motivate respondents because you are in front of him. He can see you, and then he can do it immediately. And doubts can be clarified. If he finds something he cannot understand in your questionnaire, then he can ask you directly, what do you mean by this? And then you can clarify what you mean. Less expensive when administered to a group of respondents. If you go to a group of people, maybe a group of students, just distribute to all of them. So you reduce the expenses that you will spend to go to everybody alone. Okay? Instead of going to the students, to their houses, just try to locate them inside the school or inside the university, group of them, and then distribute to all of them directly. So in this way, you will lessen the expenses. The expenses. So it's less expensive when administered to a group of respondents. Almost 100 response rate ensured. Because everybody, you will distribute to everybody, and everybody will do it and give you. So the response rate will be 100%, almost. Anonymity of respondent is high. Anonymity is high. This is for the mail questionnaire. Okay. Anonymity means the respondent will not write his name. So it is anonymous. Okay? If there are a group of people and then you do it and you collect from them, you will not recognize this one belongs to this one. But if he do it alone or individually, then you may know who is this person who do this. Okay? This is not good for the questionnaire. It's suppose you don't know who is the person who do this. Okay, the disadvantages. Explanations may introduce a bias. If you are in front of him also and you explain everything, maybe through your explanation, you direct him towards something. Yes, lead him to one way. Okay, if he has maybe 2 or 3 or 4 ways, and you want him to choose this one, then you will explain and talk about the advantages and the good things if you choose. So, depends on your explanation. Your explanation should be very brief, just to clarify. Okay? Not to explain everything until the respondent feels that you want him to choose this one. Okay? And take time and effort, because from you take time and effort, because you will go and visit people and give them by yourself. The second one, which is the mail questionnaire, anonymity is high. Okay, and it could be higher than this because you distribute by mail. Okay. Wide geographic regions can be reached. You can send it to different countries, different towns. Token gifts can be enclosed to seek compliance. Sometimes some of the people who do the questionnaire, researchers, they give something beside the questionnaire just to make you accept or to make you happy, take it and do it actively. Sometimes we just get up in the morning. When I was there in Indonesia, we wear the respondents for some kind of questionnaires, and then we get up, we open the door, you can see a gift, sweets maybe, beside the questionnaire. You cannot say no, sorry, because it gives you something. And this is our culture. You just take it and do it. So token gift can be enclosed to seek compliance. Compliance means commitment, means you will do it. Okay? Old-fashioned and obsolete. because before the electronic mail, they was distributing using the mail, the traditional mail. So it is old-fashioned. Respondent can take more time to respond at convenience. Means when he is free, he will do it. He will wait until he will be more convenient, more ready. He doesn't have anything to do. So then when he feels himself free, he will take your questionnaire and do it. And you cannot imagine what time he will send it back. Can be administered electronically if desired. So the alternative of mail questionnaires is the electronic mail. So what are the disadvantages? Response rate is almost always low, 30%. Rate is quite acceptable. Cannot clarify questions because there is no way for communication. Follow-up procedures for non-responses are necessary. You have to follow up. Follow-up means send to him another message. Why you don't do my questionnaire? Please. And this message maybe take two weeks, 1 month to reach him. Electronic questionnaires easy to administer because everything is through the internet, can reach globally. Easy globally means all around the world. Easy to access specific target groups. Just specify your target and send it. Because you will send the link for the page. So it's very easy. Just write your cover letter with the link to the questionnaire and just submit. Very inexpensive. So you don't have to spend that money. Fast delivery at the same time. Just press and email is sent. Respondents can answer at their convenience, like the mail questionnaire. Automatic processing of answers. You can collect, you can make a database or like a table for the answers and just start doing your analysis because everything is electronic. You don't need to take the results and also key in the system or analysis. They are ready. However, the disadvantage, computer literacy is a must. All people, all respondents must know how to deal with computer and the internet. So computer literacy means everybody should be educated, computer educated. As a must, sampling issues is very difficult to choose the samples. Because if you need to take some people among groups, it's very difficult. So you have to send to the whole group. So sampling is not easy. For example, if you have the email of group of lecturers, and your respondents are the lecturers. So you just need to take some of them. So how are you going to take some of them? You need to get their emails. But if you send to a group of them, it will reach everybody in the group. So the sampling is not that easy. High non-response. Yeah, some of them just ignore the email. Maybe the email goes to the junk, to the spam. So there is no response. Most of them, I think most of us, I receive a lot of questionnaires from different places. Still, it's not suitable time. I'm busy. So we have to follow up. Not always possible to generalize findings. In terms of findings, you cannot generalize if you are using electronic questionnaires because you are not sure who are your respondents. So you cannot draw a conclusion, you cannot draw a general fact. In order to draw a general fact, you need to know exactly who are your respondents, how was the sampling of the respondents. Okay? But using the electronic is quite difficult, not always possible. Respondents must be willing to complete the survey. They prefer to play chess. They prefer to do something else, Facebooking, chatting, rather than to read a questionnaire and just select. So people are not that ready or welcoming to do the questionnaire. People find invitations via email rude and offensive because they receive it without their permissions. So they find it offensive. I mean, they don't like it. So they just ignore it. Why did this person send to me? How come? Who gave him the permission to send to me? Some people, think like that. Okay? So they find the email rude and offensive mails are deleted or people complain. So they just ignore, delete the email or something like that. So there are advantages and disadvantages. I think the personally administered one is the most suitable choice. And if you want to make it globally, maybe if you have a friend in that geographic area, just send to him and ask him to distribute. Some of my friends travel from Malaysia to Yemen just to distribute the questionnaire and to collect the data from him. Because their topics were done or were studied on the Yemen society. Yes. So they have to go back and distribute and then collect maybe 6 months for some PhD students. 6 to 8 months, some of them 1 year, just to distribute, collect. It's very difficult here. Sometimes if you go to some people who are working in the government sector, maybe he will go 1 week, 2 weeks, and you cannot find him. And then if you find him, then wait for more than 1 month to respond to the response. Or you need to take your card and go showing with him. This is the test way. Okay. Questionnaire design. We said that it is very necessary to know the rules of designing the questionnaire. It's not just picking questions and that's it. No. So the questionnaire is a brief formulative written set of questions to which the respondent records his answers. It's straightforward definition. Steps. Determine the content of the questionnaire. What should be the contents of the questionnaire? It depends on your problem statement, it depends on your variables, it depends on your area. So you just draft the contents that may be included in your questionnaire. The things that you feel are difficult, are important for your study, then you just determine the content. Then determine the form of response. How should be the response of the respondents? Determine the wording of the questions. How to write the questions. Determine the question sequence. The sequence of questions. The flow of questions should be from specific to general or general to specific. Should be from simple to difficult, difficult to simple. So how? Sequence, huh? Yes, sequence. Question sequence. There should be a sequence. It's not randomly. There should be a way for sequencing. Because sometimes some questions depend on previous questions. Sometimes they ask you one question, and then the next question they said, depending on your answer of the previous question, what do you think about this and this and this? So the sequence is very important. Or sometimes they explain the general thing, and then they go to to the specific, meaning make drawing. So if they go directly to the specific, maybe you cannot understand. Okay? So there should be a kind of sequence. And you need to write a cover letter. What's the cover letter? Is the letter in the first or in the it's the first page of your questionnaire. You introduce yourself to the respondents, and Mr. X, for example, okay, I'm from, yes, I'm doing this research on this topic. Please answer my questions. The answers will be confident. Nobody will know about the answers. This is what we call it cover letter. And also he can explain the cover letter. How many questions in the questionnaire, or how many sections, because sometimes it is partitioned in sections.
As a key points.
Yes. To give him a view about your questionnaire. Okay? So about questionnaire content, framework need information for all constructs in framework. You need to gather information for all constructs. Constructs means the parts of the in the framework. Measurement of operationalizing. You have two measures: objective construct or subjective construct. What do we mean by objective and subjective? Do you have an idea about objective constructs, subjective construct? Objective question, subjective question? Okay. Objective question is a kind of question that have only one answer. You cannot say more than this. Okay? For example, if you are asked to give your age group, for example, they put it from 1 to 15, from 15 to 25, from 25 to 35. It's like this. So when you choose, you will choose only one answer. You will choose only one group. You cannot choose different. Okay, so the answer, the question, direct you towards only one answer. So this is, they call it objective construct. One element or items means one question. One question means one answer. But the subjective one is something that when you ask it, it has different meaning. You can understand the question like this, or you can understand it like this, or you can understand it like this, and also the answer could be like this, or this, or this. Many questions can be and many answers. Multiple elements or multiple items involves multiple questions. Okay? Subjective. When you say this person is subjective, means he is not accurate. He is not accurate. He is
probabilities.
Yes. He cannot decide it directly. And when you say this person is objective person, objective means when he says this thing, then there is no any other answer.
He has determined his questions.
Yes.
Exactly.
Direct. So this is the difference. You need to specify your questions to be objective or subjective according to the topic itself. Some topics or some questions should be objective. For example, if they are asked you about your gender, male or female or like this, okay? So you will choose only one answer. You cannot choose many answers. You cannot choose a male and female or like this, okay?